Trista here with another Playing Around with Playbook. Today we're going to be talking with Bijon Watson. I'm so excited to be talking to the amazing trumpet player and educator, so let's just give him a second to log on. Hi Bijon. Let's see. Hi.
Let's see if technology can be our friend today.
I'm glad
How are you?
I'm glad we could figure it out. Sometimes it's
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, thank you so much for being here today. My name's Trista. Since we haven't officially met yet, I'm a studying saxophonist and educator at NYU in the city currently.
Nice.
On the team here at Playbook with Sammy. So in the meantime, let me just introduce you for our Playbook team. Bijon Watson's career as a musician and educator spans more than 25 years and has taken him around the globe to perform for audiences worldwide. Born in Boston, Massachusetts, Bijon began playing the trumpet at age 8. He attended the New England Conservatory of Music Preparatory School and the University of Southern California and was a member of the 1994 Disney All-American College Band. So cool. And 1995 Disney Grammy All-American College Jazz Band. Bijon's love for big band and Latin jazz inspired him to become a student of the great bands of the past and present, and he's become a sought-after and in-demand lead trumpet player. Bijon is the lead trumpet player for the Grammy-nominated Clayton Hamilton Jazz Orchestra, the Grammy-nominated John Diversa Progressive Big Band, the Grammy-nominated John Beasley's Monkestra, and Jose Rizzo's Jazz on the Latin Side All-Stars, the late Gerald Wilson Jazz Orchestra, and the list keeps going on and on. Internationally, Bijon has recorded and performed live as lead trumpet with Frankfurt Radio Big Band as well. Thank you so much for being here today, Bijon.
It's my pleasure.
To pick your brain and ask you some questions. So to start us off, I'm going to ask you, what have you been listening to lately?
Oh, wow. Well, I'm preparing a show for a series that I do in Laguna Beach called Laguna Beach Live series, and we're doing a jazz celebration of the music of Stevie Wonder.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if you're familiar with the SF Jazz Collective, but they did they did a reimagining of that music. So we're going to do kind of our own version of that with my Laguna Beach Live All Stars. So we're getting that together, and so I've been digging into the Stevie. There's so much great music there. Jazz-wise, I've been listening to a lot of Freddie Hubbard actually lately, and it's interesting. And I'm a huge fan of Robert Glasper. Just really digging into. I just saw him
like a week ago or like a few weeks ago at Blue Note actually.
Oh, I wish I could have. I was going to take a train down and in Boston, But yeah, I'm a huge fan of his music and exploration of what he does musically and pushing the envelope, and so that's pretty much the first three right there.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for that. That sounds really fun to reimagine the Stevie Wonder of the SF Jazz Collective. I think, if I remember correctly, which I think I do, Ben Phlox, one of the mentors at Playbook, is very involved with the SF Jazz Collective. So
yeah, I mean, it was a great group that recorded that. Sean Jones on trumpet, and I want to say Warren Wolf on vibes, or it might have been Stefan. I have to look back at it, but it's just. So we're going to do kind of our own spin with that, and we have a vocalist as well, so it'll be fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know that you've had many notable experiences, like the one you're just talking about now. I'm curious, could you tell me a little bit about your experience working with the Grammy-nominated Clayton Hamilton Jazz Orchestra?
Well, I've been fortunate to be the lead player of that band for about 22 years now. I came on in 1999 and had the pleasure of learning a lot from Snooky Young, who's a prolific lead trumpet player, played with Count Basie, Jimmy Lunceford's band, Thad Jones, Mel Lewis, The Tonight Show band with Doc Severson for several decades. So he was a main mentor, as well as Bobby Bryant Sr., who was in there, and Byron Stripling, of course. So big shoes to fill, but I've been really proud to be able to work with them for a long time. So.
Yeah, of course. Do you have a one particular experience that stands out to you with that group?
There's so many. We were the house band, the Hollywood Bowl, for about 3 years, 99, 2000, 2001. and had a chance to play with Diane Reeves and John Clayton was writing original arrangements at that time. So playing with Diane Reeves and Joe Williams, before he passed, Stanley Turrentine before he passed. So all these great jazz. There's so many to miss, but all our European tours are awesome. We're planning one in March. We're supposed to go to Europe for a few weeks, so hopefully that'll come off. And it's really just putting this music in front of new audiences and just seeing the appreciation for that, for the band and stuff. It's great.
Yeah, of course. Well, I hope that, with COVID and everything, I hope that comes through. That would be awesome.
Don't we all?
I know.
Yeah.
Just cycling back again.
Yep.
So, as a young trumpet player and educator, who inspired you growing up? Was there an educator that impacted you?
Well, I mean, my elementary school band teacher, I grew up in Sharon, Massachusetts. My elementary school band teacher, Mr. Baker, was the one who suggested to my parents that I get private lessons and, playing hot cross buns and Mary Had a Little Lamb. That started, and that led me to participating in a program at New England Conservatory, the preparatory school there. And so that's where I started to meet other students that were really focused on getting better at their craft and really pushed each other to play with some great trumpet players there. Richard Kelly, who's a great Boston fixture in the Boston area. John Nelson was going out to the Berkshire, Tanglewood, and doing those types of things. So it was really a very exciting time. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sure. After you've named so many trumpet icons already, is there one in particular throughout your jazz career that's impacted your sound and playing the most, would you say?
Well, Doc Severson was really, seeing him on the Tonight Show band, watching him stand out in front of the band and lead the band, and his showmanship and his just technical prowess and his ability just to really to set the bar high as far as performance. And he could play jazz, he could play classical stylistically, technically he was just amazing, and he was just a character. He was a great entertainer, really engaged a lot of people that normally probably wouldn't hear that style of music. And so he was definitely influential in helping me get on the path to play the trumpet.
Yeah. And in terms of getting on path, I know that times can get tough, like gigging, teaching. Do you have any mantras for when you're feeling low or when times are getting tough?
Well, I think we have to realize that as artists, it's difficult in America, especially, to kind of be appreciated for all the time and effort and teaching and training and practicing that we've done. It's hard for I don't want to say average person, but the person that follows maybe a traditional career path to understand that there's thousands, countless hours that have been put into preparation, and it's not just a hobby for us. This is part of what we do. Whether it's through education, whether it's playing in the studio, whether it's playing live performance, whether it's leading your own band. And so when I tell a lot of students when I do master class and stuff, talking about music business, really treat yourself as a business. Treat yourself, understand what your worth is. Take time to really evaluate what it is you want to do in the music industry. Maybe it's not leading your own band. Maybe you want to help contract things. I mean, there's so many different facets of the music industry that start from your love of playing your instrument, that you can branch out and have a great career. And many musicians, I have my hands in lots of different pies. I think if you talk to a lot of artists that have careers in music, they're not just artists. They're also teaching and they're writing. They're mentoring. They're doing other things. Business owners. So it's important to understand that it's all encompassing. It's more about the arts than just playing your instrument. And if you can really think about those things, you can branch off. And I mean, during the pandemic, I had to dial in my recording setup at home, and I got ring lights everywhere. I got I never considered those things. You know what I mean? So it's important to understand that you need to adapt and take a step back and really evaluate yourself. and look
Yeah.
at it as a positive. I mean, it's a chance to reinvent yourself, a chance to really dig into things that you maybe were afraid of. So I guess my mantra is don't be afraid to do the things that you're fearful of. Take it, just jump right in, and then find people and mentors and work with them. And I think you'd be surprised at what direction that takes you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for that. That's really insightful. I
Hmm.
really like what you said about seeing yourself as a business and like selling that and investing in different parts of the pie. Really, really insightful. Um, speaking of music performing artists that also own businesses like Sammy, why do you
That's
think
right.
that platforms like Playbook are so important in today's classroom?
Well, and listen, at the end of the day, musicians are part of a community, right? A larger community. And this is
Mm-hmm.
one of the ways that you build that community. One of my mentors, John Clayton, doesn't like to refer to it as networking because it kind of takes the personal nature out of building relationships. I have relationships. I see Wayne Bergeron is in the chat. What's up, Wayne? These are relationships I have with people that have played with for decades, literally,
Yeah.
and people you can reach out to and ask questions about the craft, and we're supporting each other, and that's important. So platforms like this increase that. I mean, obviously through Sammy, I know you now. I mean, who knows what the next opportunity will be? We'll have to play together. Maybe there'll be a project in New York that we'll work together on. I bet if we were to spend a little more time, there's probably about 50 or some odd people that we know, relationship wise, that we haven't even tapped into yet. And who knows what'll happen. So if we keep building that community and we're supporting each other in our performances and our projects and things like that, then more people become aware of it. And that's when you start building bigger audiences, and people understand that, hey, listen, these aren't hobbyists that are playing these instruments. These are artists. And once we start to create that on a wider scale, I think you're going to see, more people pursue a career in the arts. And that's what it's about. It's up to you guys. It's up to you younger cats to handle that. We can just only, mentor and provide some guidance and hopefully keep you from making the same mistakes we did.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that response. To close us out, I just want to ask, where are you headed next? Will you be at the Gen conference this year?
I will. I'll be at the Gen conference, masked up heavily,
I'll be seeing
because a week or so after that, or 10 days after that, I got to get on the jazz cruise, and I have to test negative before I
Yeah.
get on the boat. So that's really important. So I'll come be at Gen for a couple days, and shoot back home to Boston, and then hole up in my little bubble. Hopefully, get tested, stay safe and everything like that before I head out on the jazz cruise a week later. And then a bunch of different concerts. I have a company in Vegas, Jazz Republic Entertainment Group, and we're putting on a jazz festival in September, and we're also
Wow.
have some events coming up at the Smith Center. So be busy with that.
Wow,
Hmm.
that's amazing. Well, everyone, be sure to stay up to date with Bijon at Bijon Watson TPT on Instagram and on his website. Stay up to date with Playbook at Playbook Jazz, and our website, this is playbook.com. And thank you so much, Bijon, for being here today. It was so great to talk to you and meet you, and I'm sure I'll meet you in person at Gen.
That's right. Let's make sure
Yeah,
to connect and grab a cup of coffee, 6 feet apart, and
of course. Yes,
and
6 feet apart. Well,
all
it's a
right.
shame I think Sammy is held up because they're performing in Las Vegas right now. So sorry he
Oh,
couldn't.
that's right. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
can't. Yeah, he
doesn't
told me
look like
that.
he
That's
could make
okay.
it on.
Sammy and I go way back. I don't know if he told you that.
I
So
saw a selfie of you
when he was
guys
little Sammy on the
Oh,
drums. So,
really?
oh yeah. Hmm.
Wow.
Yep. So
Well, thank
we'll
you.
talk about that some other time.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much again for being here. I'll see you
You're very
soon.
welcome.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Bye bye. Thank you.